Okay, so let's look at a quickie way to do a valuation of an income property, whether it be 2 units or 25 units or 200, okay? So what you want to do is on the MLS or on the offering memorandum, this is for a larger property that's being offered by a commercial brokerage. What you want to do is you want to look at what the total current rents are, and you want to look at what the current expenses are, and you want to definitely figure out what the net operating income is. And the reason you want to do this is because the value really comes from what I'm going to be making on a monthly basis right now when I purchase the property. So the easiest thing to do, if the net operating income is $100,000, you want to divide that by whatever the price is that they're asking. So if they're asking $1 million, you know that the CapRate, capitalization rate, is going to be at 10%, which is an excellent capitalization rate, okay? But in most cases, you're going to see anywhere between 0.02 to 0.0, maybe 6 if you're lucky, here in Southern California. And what they're trying to do in many cases, and you'll see this through experience of your own, they're trying to sell the property at a very low cap rate, knowing that the current rents are way below what you want to have them at. What they're hoping is that you will, and some of your clients are pretty savvy to do this, that'll look at the market rents, what they could get for the property if they just evict everybody and start all over again. Not only that, they'll look at how to value add. And what we mean by value add is adding inside laundry, charging for parking, charging for pets, putting in vending machines, anything that makes a little bit of extra money they can put on to increase the value of the property, okay? You'd be shocked, but even if you did $50 a month in vending income at a property, that's $600 a year. Believe it or not, it does affect the value of the property, okay, over the long haul. So if you have a client who's pretty savvy and is experienced, get them away from looking at this and look at what the market rents are and what could you do to reduce the expenses of the property in order for that net income to be a much bigger number, okay? So can we find a cheaper lawnmower? Can we find a cheaper maintenance guy? Could I do some of the maintenance myself and just pay myself, whatever the case may be? Could I get rid of the pool? That was a huge expense for an income property. Whatever the case may be, you're trying to reduce the net operating expenses so that when you run that cap rate that we talked about in the previous, the value of the property is that much better. You always want to try to tell your clients, look, we're looking at this property. Yeah, you know what? They're asking a lot of money for this property, but let's take a look at what we could do with it. What are the possibilities? What are the opportunities of the property? Can we go in, evict the tenants paying too little and start all over with them? Can we reduce the property expenses? Can we do value add? Can we start charging for that parking space, especially here in Southern California? All of those things affect the bottom line. And if you can improve the bottom line in the minds of your client, you're going to be selling a lot more income properties. And trust me, they're big ticket items, okay? They're worth a lot more than a house.